Probably get sued by MGM.
And now for something completely different.
This is Shug Jordan, coach of the Auburn Tigers.
Say what?
No. It's pronounced
Jordan.
Yes! Yes!
This is Shug Jordan, football coach of the Auburn Tigers.
There are so many copyright infringements in that one 30-second clip.
I think Shug would probably sue.
Probably.
You use it by name endorsement. He'd probably hate the show.
He probably would. He probably would. God bless him.
You're revealing my secrets.
Oh, man. Jeremy Henderson with the War Eagle Reader joining us for our segment called It's Pronounced Jordan. It would take us forever to recap all the different stories that we've covered, all the different areas that we've covered. But it's always a good time. And I tell people all the time, if you want if you want to kill 20 minutes or 20 hours and just be riotously entertained, thewareaglereader.com. Great.
I advise people to actually dedicate a day of the week.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Bank all the posts, all the stories.
Yes.
And just make a day of it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just because you're not going to be productive anyway.
Tour Tuesdays. That's how we
Tour Tuesdays.
Tour the Warrior.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got today? What's on the docket?
Well, Ron obviously is not on the docket.
No, Ron bolted.
Yeah, apparently I drove him off. 2 weeks is all he could handle.
I'm
sure he's tuning in.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Shout out. Well, last week obviously was a lot of Dean Foy.
Yes, we
stuff.
Talked. That's right. We talked about the painting and
right.
All that stuff.
We were digging into his files.
Yes.
To discover the truth. To what was it? What was the best thing? It was the the case of the Pea Green Tigers, the self-loathing Bama fan who painted Denny Chimes.
Yes.
With Auburn, right?
Right.
Well, so I wasn't going to go. We'll stretch out, branch out a little bit, but then I was like, no, let's just stick with.
That's
Foy.
fine.
He's
Absolutely.
He's
listen.
Trove.
That mine we can mine that for a while.
Yeah. No, I mean, his files. I haven't even figured it all out.
You haven't even scratched the surface.
I haven't scratched it, but there's some great stuff. And last week it was kind of like a Bama theme,
right?
And what was it? The first guy, the King of England, and everything.
That's right. That's right.
And so this week I was thinking Georgia.
Yes, the oldest rivalry.
The oldest rivalry.
That's right.
And it's kind of the same era.
Okay.
Kind of stuff. And so you're going along, and I'm digging through the archives.
Right.
And here's another letter from Dean Foy. And I'm reading along, and there's like a newspaper article, like attached to this thing. It was a letter from Foy to a guy named David Cleghorn. It was sent in.
What a name!
David, they had some names back then.
Man,
he's the editor of the Black and White, which is Georgia's student newspaper.
Okay,
which I think came out. I think it was a daily back then, or maybe it still is. Maybe it never was. But it was November '59, and David.
We're not going to get mixed up with facts and details. Come on,
I don't care about the black and white.
No, of course not.
So David was the editor, and he wrote this story, this article, this column.
Okay.
Kind of bemoaning the fact that he could no longer, according to the the Better Relations Committee between Auburn, Georgia, and Georgia Tech. Around this time in '59, they all started getting things were getting tense, as they always do.
Oh, they do. They do.
In Georgia, Georgia Tech, you'll always hear, a lot of the old, players, especially the ones from Georgia, being like, "Well, actually, I always, was more up for the Georgia game than anything." And
right.
They're just saying that.
Sure.
But anyway, so. There was this edict that came from this Better Relations Committee.
Okay.
That said everybody should avoid calling each other these mean names.
Of course.
Right?
Might hurt our self-esteem.
Apparently, Georgia Tech dudes were getting called dirt daubers.
That's awesome, by the way.
And they were.
That's awesome.
They didn't appreciate it.
Of course not.
And then, for whatever reason, because of the War Eagle thing, I guess. But it just doesn't. To me, it's not that big a deal. But turkey buzzards was the diss of choice.
Wow.
For Auburn students.
Turkey buzzards.
Players, fans. Instead of War Eagles, turkey buzzards.
By the way, turkey buzzards can be mean. That might actually not be a bad.
Right. I don't understand.
That might actually be a good. If we ever need another mascot, like a turkey buzzard,
the turkey buzzard.
Because let me tell you what,
we got plenty. Just add another one on
sure.
for crying out loud.
Plainsmen, whatever.
The turkey
sure.
buzzards.
Sure.
But yeah, I never thought it was. I guess you old buzzard or something back in the day. I don't know. It was kind of put down. Anyway, but Cleggy, as I call him, old Cleggy.
Cleggy.
They're like foghorn.
Foghorn, leghorn.
It makes me think of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, he really enjoyed calling us like turkey buzzards.
Okay.
Like would not stop. Like he writes this thing being
It's
like
almost like a First Amendment deal for him.
Right. It's this total middle finger to the Better Relations Committee. Right. He's like, forget. I'm calling them turkey buzzards. And he was basically saying that he just loved it. He just kept saying it over and over again. And basically it was kind of like Auburn folks are just bitter because they can't make anything go with like bulldogs. Like they can't come up with something to call us
because
nothing you can't
you can't diss a bulldog.
Right.
That's okay.
Apparently they're it was just you couldn't insult the dogs.
Like we couldn't come up with run of the litter.
Right.
Anything.
Right.
And I just came up with that right off the top of my head. I think we could come up with something.
It's weird because there's so much you can do.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Dean Foy knew it.
Oh.
Dean Foy, he knew that there was. So this opinion piece kind of rubbed him the wrong way.
All right.
And so he decided he was going to write old David.
Nice.
Right. So this is funny because it's the exact same way he started the letter last year or last week that we read from 10 years earlier.
The greetings and
10 years ago, but he's still doing the same thing, right? Dear David. Now, let me put up front. He technically did not send this letter. It says it's written and it says not sent.
Okay, but he wrote it.
Now, he technically did write this. Maybe it's like one of those things where you write the letter, you stick it in your desk drawer for 10 minutes until you cool off, kind of a deal.
Do you think maybe he wrote it and it got he didn't send it? Maybe they printed it in the Plainsman or something.
No, I think he wrote it. Who knows? Maybe the secretary was like, "This is a bad idea."
I'm going to do him a favor and just pretend like I mailed this.
Or he probably was thinking that they might have actually printed it or something.
Okay.
Maybe they were going to print it or something. Who knows?
All right, so he didn't send it, but he wrote it. So what did he write?
He did write it, and this just shows how awesome this guy was.
He was awesome.
And anyway, so it's like, Dear David, greetings, salutations, and best wishes from fair Auburn, loveliest village of the plains, in quotes. I hope this letter finds you in good health and in good spirits. I've been interested to read your column in the Red and Black issue of November 12th and December 3rd. There was another one. It is my express wish that this letter is not for publication, but solely one for you, me, and Dean Tate. Dean Tate was like the Georgia's Foy.
Okay.
A very, very famous, Dean of Students or whatever.
Okay, all right.
Total Foy equivalent.
Okay.
But not, totally not.
Right.
Not even close.
A shamble of a facsimile.
A Foy wannabe.
Sure. Okay. All right.
I want a Foy.
Nice.
In reading your column on November 12th, I believe you're a bit naive to think that it's impossible to find derogatory nom de plume for University of Georgia rooters.
Nom de plume.
Since you are officially known as Bulldogs, you possibly could be called by a number of derogatory names. Some of these might be quite objectionable. Yellow Cur.
Nice.
Or my favorite, Sons of Dogs.
Okay.
And then in parentheses, or to be more specific,
right.
Sons of that just happened.
Right.
Sons of
just happened.
Yes.
Okay.
The use of such names by Auburn students would be a horror to us. No, and then he has it scratched out. Abhorrent. Abhorrent to us as it would be to you, and it would lower our opinion of ourselves and certainly not raise your opinion of us, knowing how easy it is to retaliate in the matter. We know about that, the retaliation.
Sure, absolutely.
Of name calling. Our student leaders reached the conclusion that we should all work to enhance our own school and to soft pedal the matter of degrading another school. I'm sure your sense of fair play will see the point here. The point I would like to make is that it would not be difficult for Tech and Auburn to make some kind of name out of a Bulldog. It is just that we have not chosen to do so out of our respect for the character of a great institution like Georgia and its student body. War Eagle, James E. Foy, not sent, but...
Dude, killing them with kindness.
I know, killing them with kindness, heaping the coals, you know what I mean? Well...
And here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Applicable?
Here's the thing. This is one of those, this is like Foy to call you because he talked about the psychology of the mob of
Right.
calling somebody
Psychosocial, right, exactly,
calling
exactly.
somebody out, and this is in essence what he's doing. What he's saying is, hey, look, obviously we could call you any number of names. You can go ahead and keep doing this, but we're not because we're above. This is almost like political. We're above the fray.
Right. The language. Right.
Just.
I wish you would have.
I love the nom de plume.
I just wish you would have made fun of how stupid Turkey Buzzards was. Just started going,
could you come up? You could not come up with a better one than.
That's real creative, Cleggy.
I mean,
I wish you would have just stooped. Just gone for it.
Just
But
done
I just love.
something.
There's just something like I just love that he's like sons of dogs.
Right.
or
to be more specific.
I don't know. Cracked me up.
That
Love
is-
you, Dean Foy.
That is
You're the
nice.
best.
Oh, man. Dean Floyd just rocked. Oh, he just did. All
Well,
right.
and we'll have there's the great part about this is there's a follow up to this.
Oh, great.
Which
Okay.
is even better.
Awesome. We'll talk about that when we get back. It's Jeremy Henderson with the War Eagle Reader. It's pronounced Jordan when we come back right here on The Drive.